Ladies and gentlemen, today I'm brought by another good friend, Layla Fox. How are you doing today, Layla?
Hey guys, hey Darth.
You doing pretty good? You having a great day?
I am, thank you. It's Friday, so happy Friday, guys. I hope you're having a great day too.
It is Friday, the weekend is coming, and we had some kind of fun topics we were going to cover today. Now, if you didn't know, Layla over on her channel covers a lot of lore. What's your most latest lore project you were doing over there?
What I released today is for Cillian the Lucky. I figured why not, because it's March, and his story is hilarious. I just have to tell you guys, you could tell that Raid had a lot of fun when they made his story, because it's probably like the silliest, funniest one I think I have read so far.
Can you give me a quick synopsis of it? Because now you kind of got my curiosity.
Basically, he's an idiot. And something happens to him where all of a sudden he gets lucky, and no matter what he does, he can't fail.
Oh, it's almost like he's an anime hero or something here. That sounds like it.
It's like I said, it's hilarious because they basically say that like he can't shoot a bow and arrow, he trips over his own feet, falls off the horse, like he can't do anything. And then he ends up running away because he gets like the Lord mad at him, and then a sequence of events, all of a sudden he finds something. I won't say what this thing is. He finds something, and all of a sudden he can't lose. And people don't care. They're like, whatever, he wins, that's great. But it's just that he's a schmuck and that he just lucked out somehow.
All right, well, we're going to have to put that one in the pinned comments. So we're going to put that video there so you can find it. Sounds like a good one. Today, since we have the Layla expert of lore herself, my first question for you today was, if you were a character in the game, you don't have to describe what kind of character you would be or anything like that, but what would your lore be for your hero?
You know what's really funny is my chat actually talks about things like all this all the time. Shocker, right? Since I'm known as like the lore master, lore girl.
Right.
So they write me stories all the time, and usually their idea is like my story would be like Hallmark. Something like ridiculously like Hallmark, like rom-com would be something like what my story would be. Because like if you guys are in my channel, we have, it's positive vibes, good feels, like we're just all happy, positivity, go lucky. And that's basically what they say is corporate girl leaves the corporate world to pursue her dream career in Twitch, where she finds the handsome man. But the handsome man has an evil girlfriend who just really wants to ruin her streaming career because, shocker, she is a toxic Twitch streamer and she wants to wreck her career. Classic, just, like Hallmark stuff, right? Classic.
Okay.
I always have.
If I had $1 for every one of those Netflix movies there are about the Twitch.
I know, right?
I think Shamrock kind of looks a little bit like what my lore would be like, to be honest. Just kind of the drunken Irishman,
I was about to ask. That would be yours?
No, I always thought... So I actually thought about this because back in the day, for the viewers that played Dungeons and Dragons, I only ever played it once. My brother was what they would call the dungeon master or whatever, had a bunch of friends, and they needed an extra person. So one of these times I got dragged into these games. And it was actually kind of fun because you basically build your own hero and you decide who you are and all this stuff. And so the lore that I went with is kind of somewhat like Shamrock, which is I called the guy Mr. Lucky. And basically everything about him is just completely random was the idea. It's just kind of like almost like a mimic in video games, like the complete concept of just everything's random. And I think that's what I would go with. Some kind of... My lore would be, I don't know, some guy where not lucky, but everything that happens is like a 1 to 10, and the quality of how good he achieves his success is always random no matter what, so he's never consistent. I always thought that would be kind of an interesting hero. Shamrock is maybe the closest thing we have to that. I mean, what's the most RNG hero we have in the game?
I'm not sure. RNG-wise? Ooh, I'm trying to think. Aren't there some other champs too? Is it Black Knight, or isn't there another one that's got like this weird kind of... I'm trying to think what it is. Like they might hit or they might not, or do percentages or like something kind of weird. I thought we had a champ like that. I just don't remember which one it was.
There's a few of them that have some random percentages, but I thought Shamrock used... I was looking at his skills here, and it's not as much RNG as I thought, but I thought they used to have it where he had a very large range of buffs that he could place. Like if he placed this, then he had a chance of placing this one. If he placed that one, he has a chance of placing this one. And then they reworked.
Yeah, is that what it says there? No. As I'm trying to read that, it goes to...
60% increased defense on all allies, then increased speed on all allies for 2 turns. Also 50% chance of placing third. So it is fairly RNG. Places revive on death buff on all allies with 50% HP for 2 turns, and a 50% chance of placing, which I guess everything goes to 75. So you get like a 3 out of 4, almost a coin flip if you don't book it. But That would probably be my lore if I had to do it. I think yours is a little bit better fleshed out there, I gotta say. And now I'm kind of thinking about Killian the Luckies again. I'm gonna have to go back and actually watch that video because let me just tell me if I get it right. Does he find a 4-leaf clover?
He does.
I knew. You know what
Of
gave it
course,
away?
they had to
The
do it.
giant 4-leaf clover all over his entire
Yep.
outfit on here.
Ding, ding, ding.
So let me ask you this, okay? So speaking of lore, that's the topic of the video today. Mobile gaming lore. I kind of wanted to, this is my very bad transition to the next topic, which is, what do you actually think technically the first mobile game is?
Oh no, I know you and I were talking about this because there's different ways to look at this, right?
Yep.
I'm trying to think about some of the stuff that's been around for a long time. Like we know Clash has been around for a long time, but then you brought up a good point too. Like what if we dive out of cell phones and you start looking at like Game Boys and like some of the other things like that too. So you brought up a really good point on that. And I see what you just pulled up there on mobile games. What's it say?
So this is Wikipedia, right? Or Wikipedia. I know I'm going to get roasted for saying it one of each ways. I'm trying to figure out what their actual definition here is. A video game is typically played on a mobile phone. That is their definition of it. So they are going to qualify as that. But see, I was recently trying to think, because this summer, spoiler alert, I want to work on a series called Truly Mobile, which what I do is I go around all these different places that are fun spots and then like record playing mobile games in actually mobile areas. And when I was thinking about that, I'm like, well, can I just bring like a Game Boy Advanced like SP and play Pokemon Red, or is that not qualify as a mobile game? So that's why this topic's been in my head a little bit. And now it looks like our first bit of evidence is right here. They say it's typically played on a mobile.
Doesn't say it has to be. It says typically.
So what do they say here? In 1997, Nokia launched the very successful Snake and its variants. That was pre-installed on most mobile devices manufactured in Nokia and since become one of the most played games and is found in more than 350 million devices. So they're saying 97 would have been the first one with Snake.
I haven't heard of that. Did you hear about that? I don't know what that is.
Snake, okay, so Snake is basically the one where there's the little block. Here, let me pull it up here, I'll show you. So there's basically like Snake the game, okay? There's like a little block, and your guy goes either up or down and eats it. It was on a lot of calculators, like here, you see this, like this?
Oh, okay.
And then it gets one block bigger. Yeah, like a lot of the low TI-84 calculators have this game and stuff on it too, which makes me wonder. Okay, so let's see what the first mobile game. Let's see what Google has to say about the first mobile game. They say Tetris, introduced in 94.
Really? Right, but was that on a phone? Or how are they taking that? Wait, let's see. On a mobile phone called what's it say?
The first mobile phone game was introduced in 94 as pre-installed in a form of Tetris, which came on the mobile phone called I'm not even going to try to pronounce that. MT2000. I can do that part. 2 to 3 years later, 97 designed Snake. So this one sneaks in 3 years earlier, 94. But you know what? I can one-up this one later. Hold on. Pac-Man Mobile. I'm going to show you this. I had this game, okay? It was the Pac-Man Mobile. Where is it? Oh, this thing is like straight from the 80s. Okay. Mobile arcade. What is it? I don't even know what you would call this thing. It was like a mobile Game Boy thing. All right, I'm gonna have to cut. This is the part where I'm gonna like cut to 1 hour later with the SpongeBob sound effect while I find this real quick. Because Pac-Man Mobile Hardware. It's this really cool. It was this whole thing. It took those huge D batteries. It took like 6 of them in a row, and it had these really clanky buttons. And it was this giant yellow like Game Boy with a really, really janky screen on it.
Okay.
It was before. Okay, here we go. Pac-Man. I'm gonna type in yellow because it was yellow. Okay, it wasn't any of these.
Any of it look familiar? No. Huh? Does any of it look familiar?
None of them, man. Not a single one of these. I mean, of course, I bet you I even still have the thing over my parents' house. But this is all too new. This is a really old thing. But that would have been my guess. This is it right here.
Oh, there you go.
I can't believe it. I found it. There, eBay. They're selling this for $149. I'm rich, Layla.
I've never seen that. Oh my gosh.
No, I don't know where I got this thing at like a garage sale when I was like 10 years old or something. This is an old piece of hardware, man. So yeah, I'm not really quite sure what would be the first definition of the very first one. I guess you could kind of, I guess in mobile it would be the 94 game. One before.
I was
Snake
way
Tetris.
off because I guess like what I was saying was maybe like 10 years old or something like that. I don't even know. I don't even know that. But wow, yeah. So we're talking like back in the 90s. How about you guys watching? Did you know about that? Like, what would you have thought that the first like mobile game would have been? Apparently, I was way off base.
Snake was surprising for me, and Tetris is even more surprising. I didn't know Tetris was even pre-Snake on like Nokia brick phones. Did you have a favorite game you played though back in the day? Did you play any of these mobile devices? What was your first phone, for instance? Mine was like the Razor flip phone. Remember those? In high school, I got one.
I remember that. I had one of those like little flip phone things as well too. I remember.
Yep, that was my first phone experience. But I don't even think I had any games on it back then. I think my favorite mobile device games was probably the Metroid games, like the original Game Boy Metroid games, because my dad had the original OG Game Boy. I'll show you here.
Oh yeah, let's see that.
This one right here, this big boy, and then it got totaled because me as a little kid apparently threw it into a water jug in our fridge for some reason.
Oh.
I don't know why we had a water jug in our fridge that was big enough for a Game Boy to go into it, but for some reason I decided to throw it in there. It's only $13 on eBay. I can buy a piece of my history right here for $13.
Oh.
This seems.
I'm trying to think if did I even have a Game Boy? I don't even remember. I know we were trying to think about like some of our earliest stuff that we played. Honestly, like the stuff I remember like Super Nintendo. I remember, God, I played World of Warcraft for like a really, really long time. Like that's the stuff I remember.
How about arcades? Did you ever do any arcades? Like go into
I love arcades. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. So the funny thing is, like, I'm not a first-person shooter kind of person, but I love first-person shooter in the arcades. So I was always play like House of the Dead, like the Tomb Raiders. Like,
oh yeah, okay.
It's just, like, I don't know if I liked holding things when I was shooting it. I don't know, but I don't like first-person shooters on a console or on the PC. But I love them in the arcade, and I still do to this day.
You get the awesome like plastic gun. You actually get to aim at everything. You get the fun from it, and sometimes they even have pedals.
And a lot of times, what you have, like you have to like swing it down to like reload it, or you have to like hit it to reload it, so it feels like you're actually doing something instead of just, I don't know, playing with a controller, I guess. Maybe that's what it is.
The arcade had the first VR too, because way back in the day, before any of these VR headsets or anything came out, they had this one where it was this giant yellow like helmet you would wear, and you would stand in place and like turn with this giant. It was way, way overdone for basically a VR headset, but it was the equivalent of a really crappy VR headset way back in like the 90s, man. Dude, arcade games were absolutely the best, and they paired well with physical activity sports like skee ball. And did you ever do like the basketball ones where you just shoot the basketball hoops over and over and over again?
Yep. And then we get to the revolution of DDR, Dance Dance.
Oh my God,
you guys remember that?
Me with nostalgia here. Okay, so Dance Revolution. Here, let me show you something.
DDR.
Dance Dance Revolution for the X. Okay, Google needs to know my location just because I'm Googling things. Dance Dance Revolution Xbox here, the OG Xbox.
Oh my gosh, yes.
With the pad, this is it. With the old pad you would stand on that was crinkly, and if you had carpet, God help you, because the buttons wouldn't register. Absolutely. No, Dance Dance Revolution was my shit.
Oh my God, mine too. I used to have so much fun. My best friend actually had it. So I would go to her house, and that's what we would do. Is like, we would just like do DDR. We're like, cool, we're gonna exercise today. DDR, let's go. Dance Dance Revolution. It was hilarious. Dude, so much fun. You would get sweaty as fuck doing this too. Like this is, you actually would working out for this. It wasn't like these crappy, Wii ones where you would just move the controllers and pretend you were working out. These were, you'd be working out pretty hard on these. I remember some people got crazy good at these, though. There's even people, because this worked as an actual controller, there's people like showing off playing like Halo on these and stuff. Oh, I had that.
Yeah, it was great. You could use them as a normal controller because it was basically just mapped as a controller. And so you can use the BEA and all that. People would play all kinds of games with them. Yeah, no, This is a good trip down memory lane. Well, Layla, I appreciate it. I'm going to have to go watch your video on Kelly and the Lucky, and I recommend everybody who got to the end of this to go do it as well, because now I'm going back to wanting to see the 4-leaf clover thing since I got right. I should get bonus points for being correct.
See how he gets it?
Well, do you have any last comments or anything for the people? What you got going on? You got something to plug for us?
Let me see. So actually, what we were talking about was Darth and I commented off stream about my hair is all red. So guys, this isn't a wig. I actually did color my hair red because my birthday was last week, so I thought it would be fun.
Happy birthday.
And I think, thank you. And so this month's cosplay, I actually think I'm going to go Gamora from Guardians of the Galaxy, if we have any Marvel fans in here, because I already got the hair, so at least I don't have to wear a wig. Like, I just got to do the green paints, and we'll do all of the other fun Gamora type things. But that's what I got planned for this month. Something a little different, because I know that January and February, I did a Shadowkin each. So I did Raiho in January, and then I was Yumeko in February. So I know this month is going to be Marvel, just something a little different, But it should be fun, and it goes nicely with my new hair color.
And where do you typically post all of that at? Where can they find that?
On my socials. So I do post it on Instagram. So pretty much you can see all my cosplays on Instagram. Also on YouTube, if you go to the community tab, I'm always posting my cosplays on there as well too, and on Twitter. But Twitter, things tend to get drowned out on there. So that's why usually the best place to see it is going to be Instagram and probably my YouTube on the community tab.
Here we go. I'll pull it up right there. Layla Fox, Twitter. Go follow her, everybody. All right, Layla.
Thank you.
Always lovely having you on. Everyone go watch your videos, and have a great day, everybody. Bye.
Thanks. Bye, guys.